So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can sign an additional 30 clients per month using simple email and SMS sequences and the exact 3 plug and play workflows that you can just immediately use ChatGPT to install into your business within 10 minutes of watching this video. If you're wondering who I am, my name's Alex Newman. I'm the founder of Scholar Systems, where I help coaching business owners scale to 7 figures in profit while only working 20 hours a week, all while leveraging what I did in my own company. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we are in a trust recession. This means that people are going to buy coaching from us, are more informed, and have more options than ever before. What this means for us is that before every single appointment that someone is ever going to show up to, customers are going to do their research regardless. And the difference between a multi-7 and even 8-figure coaching business and one that barely scrapes by is the ability to become the customer's #1 source of information throughout this process. Rule of thumb is that if a customer watches 10 videos from us before they ever speak with us on a call, our closer is going to turn into a cashier because of how hot and ready the lead is to buy. The 3 ways that we have of doing this. First, we have the opt-in flow. So this is when someone first gives us their email and SMS information to actually have them go through book and call. Second, we have the appointment confirmation reminder sequence. This is when someone actually books in the first appointment to let them know where their call is, when it's happening, and just make sure they show up on time. And then finally, the holy grail and what you're watching this video for is the indoctrination curriculum. This is the A to Z of designing a process to walk through every single objection that a customer might have and solve it before the call even appears through these 11 emails I'm going to break down and show you in today's video. Then finally, we're going to click on over to ChatGPT just like this, and we're going to type in the exact prompt that you need to put in order to apply this to your own coaching business without having to go and sit down for hours doing copywriting. So first, we have the opt-in flow. There is only one goal of the opt-in flow, and that is to have a customer book an appointment. You see, they've already received value from us, recent enough to give us their email, SMS, and first name. So what that means is that we need to hit while the iron is hot and actually go through and have strong call to actions to have them book a call. The best way to get people's information at scale is using one of 2 things. First, we have a lead magnet, which is some form of free training or resource that you provide. And the second is also a loss leader, which happens in conjunction, which is pretty much just operating at a loss to run something like a free community or service for someone. Regardless, from that point on, when we receive someone's information, we're going to run them through a few sequences. First things first is we're going to have the emails. So first thing is we're going to deliver them their exclusive training. This would be an email where you introduce them to yourself, you explain who you are, roughly what your company does, and then also deliver them the training that they asked for in regards to how to make a lead magnet training as valuable as possible. Really, it just comes to having synchronicity with whatever you talk about in your YouTube comment. The next 3 phases is going to be hard book a call to actions. So we're going to have the email number 1 be a call to action, email number 2 be a call to action, email number 3 be a call to action. Then email number 4 is going to be redirecting them to YouTube. Email number 5 is going to be a pure value with absolutely no call to action. Email number 6 is going to be a book a call, but this time with a limited time offer. So an example of this would be saying that right now you're running an exclusive offer where when you onboard someone, you're going to spend more one-on-one time with them. And then the final one is going to be a follow-up bump on that limited time offer, and then a given up breakup message. This final message here is extremely strong. Pretty much the goal behind it is to say, hey, don't want to leave off from here. I'm not going to bother you anymore. I'm not going to give you any more call to actions. I'm just going to add you to the normal email stream and you're just going to get pure value. So unsubscribe if you'd like, but that's pretty much all I have for you. That message alone gets a lot of replies and pushes over a lot of people who are on the fence, kind of just watching from afar on these previous emails. Alongside that, we're also going to do the exact same thing with SMS. SMS, you want to be a little less frequent because it does start to bother some people and there are compliance things that we have to worry about. So same thing here. Our goal is pretty much to complement the emails we're sending by first giving a case study, then doing this limited scarcity offer on the second email, then another case study, and another scarcity follow-up bump into a case study, and then that exact same breakup message. These alone, if you are aggressive enough and are actually providing an extreme amount of value in this lead magnet, is going to be enough to get someone to book in. Next thing is setter dials. So as soon as we get someone's information, the highest leverage thing we can do to book an appointment is to get someone on the phone with them within 5 minutes. Best way to do this is to have a setter dial 1, 2, 3 times. That's it. You don't have a setter dial them any more times or go on some crazy follow-up sequence because that is borderline harassment. And if they're not interested from the actual emails alone, it doesn't mean that on the phone you're going to be able to book them in. So instead, what we do is we focus on making these emails extremely valuable. When these setters dial them, they're going to go pretty much directly to a booking interview page. I have lots of videos on my channel about how to actually go through and execute that setting call. So now we've got the appointment scheduled. This is where the money is made because the first thing that we need to do is make sure they show up to a call. What I can actually do here is I'm going to quickly overview the ones that we have here, but also click through and show you a live example. So when a customer books an appointment, we're going to create a pipeline opportunity and give an internal notification that is just letting your team, the sales rep, etc. know. And then from that point on, we're going to run them through this exact sequence right here. So this is on Go High Level. I don't have any affiliates or anything like that, just the best thing to use. So first thing we do is we give them an automatic email confirmation. This is pretty much to say, hey, you've got a call scheduled at this time. Looking forward to speaking with you. It's going to be a super valuable call. At the same time, we send them an SMS message asking them if they got the invite to the calendar, if they got the email. What we also do in this phase is we force them to respond yes if we want them to show up to an appointment. This does two things. First, it forces compliance so that we can have all the rest of our SMS messages sent properly. And second, it shows that really they're going to commit and they're actually engaged in the conversation process. I have a 95% plus show up rate, people that have actually responded back to any form of SMS or email in the process. So I just say that I'll cancel any calls that don't do this, and it's been extremely effective. Then wait 1 hour and send them a voicemail drop. This is extremely effective, and pretty much the way that you do it is you just go into Slack or even your phone voice notes and just record a message saying, hey, I looked through your application, etc., looking forward to speaking with you, and send that out as a voicemail drop. They're going to get this as a missed phone call, and then when they watch through the voicemail, it's either going to make them pick up your setter, which is going to be extremely effective for actually getting them on the phone, or two, it's going to show them that you're actually spending quality time. And if it's you personally, you can do something that is, well, personalized at scale. Then 24 hours before the appointment, we're pretty much going to leave them alone up until this point. Then we're going to hit them with an SMS split message. This is one of the highest leverage things, again, that you can do to actually get a response. What I've done here is we have the SMS number 1 and SMS number 2, and they're split across by 6 seconds to make us appear like we're actually sitting there typing it ourselves. And what we do in this message is we say, hey, not sure if you saw the voicemail I dropped yesterday, and we have this very, very calm language, but pretty much, hey, I'm very interested and looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Then 2 hours before the appointment, we're going to say, hey, I took a look at everything that you sent me, your application and whatnot. Could you send me some more info about yourself or how long you've been running your business? And then 3 minutes before the appointment, we're going to send them a message saying that we're in the meeting, we're ready to go. And then we're also going to conjoin that with an email that says the exact same thing. And that alone is going to be enough to get them to show up to the call, so long as we had the setter do the due diligence and set proper expectations on the thank you for booking. Now, where the money is made. And the reason why you actually watch this video in the first place is the appointment indoctrination curriculum. The purpose of what we have done here is taken every possible objection that a prospect can give us and reverse engineer them into skillful emails that leverage psychology in order to actually have them respond. I'm going to show you how to create a ChatGPT prompt that's pretty much going to make this an extremely simple process for you to do, but it's important that you understand what to look for so that when ChatGPT spits stuff out, you know whether to keep it or to just run it through one more time. So the way that this works, your customer books the appointment. This is going to run at the exact same time. So pretty much what we have done is these are exclusively going to be emails. There's going to be no SMS, nothing like that. These are just pure valuable emails, but these two sequences are going to be running at the exact same time. Going to wait 30 minutes while all these initial confirmations and this crazy stuff goes on. Hey, your appointment's here, your appointment's there, etc. But then you're going to hit them with the first email. The goal of this email is to warmly welcome them for booking a call. You want to introduce yourself, not on the, hey, my name is XYZ, I do XYZ, like I kind of did earlier on this video. You want to give a little bit more about your story and more about your company and what you guys actually have as a mission, like the long-term vision that you guys have. Then you're also going to be introducing the sales rep that's taking the call. So if it's you, what I'd recommend is just go a little bit more in depth on yourself, your story, some of the experience background you have. But if it's a sales rep, what's really important is that you hop onto a Zoom meeting with them, showing that you're there speaking with them, and turn on a Loom saying, hey, we're looking forward to your call, etc., etc. This is huge because if you do a Loom video, you can actually see whether they viewed it or not. But then what you also get the ability to do is conjoin and use some of the frame that you have and apply it to the sales reps so this person is just not kind of this lackey of yours and they're actually your right-hand man, as we like to position it. Then from that point on, as you can see here, we're gonna be waiting pretty much 3 hours between a lot of these emails to hit them up 11 times in this total sequence. The second thing we're going to walk them through is your full story. So we gave a little bit about the vision of your company, etc., but now we're going to tell your hero's journey. Really, what we're going to do is we're going to explain everything that you failed at and everything that you sucked at along the lines. Pretty much the goal behind this entire section of this second email right here is to show that you are completely human. You're not this magical person that gets these magical results. You have literally just ate shit for however long you actually did to learn everything that you did with the methodology that you're going to be teaching today. A big thing that you can also do in this section is share all the other popular models you tried and why yours that you actually had to find is a little bit unique because of this pain, that pain, etc. And then you're going to redirect them to a popular YouTube video you have. Then once again, in this third email right here, I'm gonna double down on that once again. And then we're going to do something called a vacuum scarcity. What this means is that we're really going to explain who our methodology works the absolute best for. So almost 99.9% of the time, this is going to be the person reading this email. That's why I like to call it vacuum scarcity, because you're saying, hey, this is going to be extremely, extremely valuable for this person. And it's always going to be them reading it just because of the way you design it and the way you call it out. However, it's going to make it seem as though it's extremely exclusive, because honestly, with your coaching business, it should be. So I'm going to assume you know what you're doing on that front. Then what you're going to do in this section is pretty much explain like, hey, maybe if you are this kind of person, this model that's super popular is going to work better for you. Or if you're that kind of person, that model is going to work best for you. But if you're this key kind of person, and that's where the vacuum scarcity comes into play, what I do is going to be the most effective because you're similar to me. And really, that is the core of creating that parasocial relationship, but then also the reciprocity and the relatability that you're going to have in your content on the organic and ad side either way. Then, email number 4 is going to be a simple case study. Really, this is going to be the introduction of us sharing social proof to them at a mass scale. Something that's very important to keep note of with social proof is that guys who just throw social proof absolutely everywhere end up creating a lot more suspicion than they actually gain. Because really, when someone is trying so hard to prove themselves that they're legitimate, they did this, they did that, this person worked, and they're shoving it in your face, it almost makes you question whether or not they're being realistic. You want to have a very casual frame about case studies and social proof in general, and you want people to find it out for themselves. So have it plastered on your landing pages somewhere, but don't shove it down people's throats. You're just going to share the story from a perspective of a friend that you worked with, and you're also going to redirect them to a client interview that walks them through this. Then you're going to wait 3 hours once again. Now the seed has been planted of everything social proof case study, showing that this has actually worked for other people. Then we're going to sell the unique selling proposition and our story. So now that we've shown it works for some people, we need to explain that the system can work for them specifically and show that it can actually work for absolutely everyone. This is going to be the one email during our entire process where we just blast them with a bunch of stories that we've gotten. They're going to be simple one-liner stories. They don't have to be a full explanation of everything like that. It's going to be like, hey, this person achieved this result through this mechanism. This person achieved this result through this mechanism. It's just going to be a long list of as many people as you have with your offer that are significant and big transformations. So it's going to leave someone thinking, well, this thing definitely works. It definitely works for some people. I just don't know whether it works for me or not. And this is 24 hours before the appointment. This is an amazing place to have someone in because now they're beginning to trust you. They know what you do. They know who you are. They just really need to be convinced that it's actually you that can help them and that what you have is relevant for their specific situation and whole life, pretty much. Then email number 6 is going to be what I like to call the behind the scenes email. So now what you want to do is kind of the same as this previous email. Keep hammering down that this works for other people. This could be an example of showing a live mastermind call in your coaching community or group, for example, and just showing the behind the scenes that a lot of people are getting results for this. And then it is going to go into the next one where you share your average success rate and stats to really, really, really get them to this point that I'm about to show you right here. So every time someone's going to buy from you fundamentally, there's always going to be the group of people that you've gotten great results for. And they're all going to be scattered in here. You get the point. These are the people that love you. They know what they do. You've gotten results. They're amazing and they're your guys. And then every new person is going to be standing right outside this group thinking to themselves, okay, is that me, question mark? Like, do I fit in? Am I relevant to actually join this group? Is this something that's going to work for me? A lot of people, they know that the gurus or the people that they watch, especially if they scheduled a call and have been opening the emails up to this point, are legitimate to some sense. They know their system can work for some people. The biggest thing that we have to solve for is I like to call, and this is gonna be my best drawing of a snowflake, and I was going to a star, but the special snowflake fallacy. And we need to pretty much show this person that they are extremely and the exact same as all the people in this group right here. And this alone is something that almost no coaching business does, that if we can nail and optimize for, is going to make our conversions massive. To show that every case study and even our own story personally is the exact same as the situation they're in right now. Because if they fully believe that, then every single case study we have is pretty much just compounding proof that we do the exact thing that they need in order to get results and transform their life. So that is where we get to the solve special snowflake fallacy email. This is the most important email throughout the entire process. And if there's one thing to take away from this video, let it be right this. What we're going to do is we're pretty much going to quote unquote read their mind shared through mutual experiences. We're going to show them that they're not special. what we do and what we've achieved for other people can also happen for them. And we're going to show everything related to it, and then also send a YouTube video, which if you haven't made already, I'm going to show you how to make at the end of this video. So what we're going to do in this entire process and how it's all going to work is we're pretty much going to write this email, and the body of this email is going to be a pretty long story. And this story is going to be a little bit different than the usual stories that we're going to include that have the hero's journey of the climax, rising action, etc. Because really in this story, what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight everywhere where we were that sucked. We're going to find every single feeling, every single emotion that was painful throughout this process that we had to learn in order to craft it into this big call to action. So if you are struggling with this, if you are struggling with that, if you failed at this, if you failed at that, we're just going to list as many of them as possible to make them think, oh crap, this is me. And we even want to address the special snowflake thing head on in a nice way, of course, saying, hey, I know a lot of people believe that they are some form of special snowflake, etc., and then you can solve it on the spot. And if you can get this solved before the sales call, it is going to make, once again, your closers into cashiers. And then 6 hours before the appointment, we're going to now solve the only thing that is left, which is they know it's going to work. They know it's going to work for them. The only thing left is whether they can afford it or not and whether they're ready to pull the trigger on the pricing. We're going to start by first doing what is called indirectly overcoming the pricing objection. So the way we do this is we want them to step into your shoes in regard to the pricing. And this is especially effective in B2B. And when I say B2B, I just mean some form of offer that works with other businesses or anything else related to business. Pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to switch their focus in their mind of, oh, this is expensive. For example, if it's 10K, this is expensive, saying that 10K is expensive, to no, it's not expensive to pay 10K if I'm going to make 100 back in return, and have them focus on the returns they can make and not the pricing. Because once again, if they believe 100% that it's actually going to work and the only thing that it's up to is whether or not they're ready to invest right now on the spot, the big thing that you need to solve for is pretty much just, hey, I promise you that you're going to get returns from this. So whether you have the money right now or not, you can try and gather it immediately. But once again, your qualification, your sequences, you should know how much money they have on hand by the time and on the form that they actually use to book a call anyways. So this should be something that is really just about saying that, hey, they're going to get returns from this. Then 2 hours before, we're going to do the exact same thing. And it's what I like to call the mirror offer framing. So we're pretty much going to take their offer that they have or that they have to the world. So for example, if we're working with someone who shows people how to trade stocks, for example, we're going to say, hey, the same way that you teach people how to trade stocks or insert whatever they do is the same way that I do this. And my selfish goal is to get you a return, etc., etc. And the reason why I have this position as an aligned benefit where they are screwing you is because fundamentally, people are going to buy 100% of the time if they believe that they're getting the better end of the deal. And even if your thing is 10K, if they believe that it's going to make them 100K, they're still getting the better end of the deal. And then you're going to redirect it to a YouTube video that is related to this. And then finally, you're going to state your offer and evil intentions. The goal behind this is to decrease sales resistance completely right before the call by just sharing everything about what you do, and then also having the potential to, when they hop on the call, say, hey, did you watch through the VSL or thank you for booking video that explained what to expect, etc., etc., because here's what we do, here's what we offer, here's the pricing. And pretty much the call turns into a pseudo onboarding session so long as they've consumed and opened up each of these emails, which you can track. And one thing that is very important through this entire process is that we have them redirect to YouTube videos, because what it does is as we redirect them to more and more YouTube videos at the end of every single email here, it creates a catalog. Once again, they're going to watch those 10 videos. So in this email sequence alone, we're going to direct people to about 8 videos, assuming they actually watch some calls off an ad, off the organic content we posted before they actually went in and booked. They're probably going to be around that point of having the right amount of calls booked. And that alone, once they hit this lucky number 10, is going to be what makes them convert. And that's why it's so important to, with each of these emails, redirect them straight into the YouTube sequence that we have right over here. So now the only final step that I'm going to show you is how to actually go into ChatGPT and plug this all in. So what you're looking at right now is the exact prompt that we're actually going to use in order to have ChatGPT create this all for us. So I run a coaching business that helps X do Y, and I'm writing an email sequence to indoctrinate my customers about my company before I actually speak with them. I'm going to feed you the rough idea and framing of the emails. Can you mock up an email with spaces for personalization? You're going to send this. It's going to say yada, yada. Okay, great, perfect. So then we're going to actually write in right here, my coaching business helps. And then what we're going to do is on this first email, we're going to click right back over here and we're going to say, well, for the thank you for booking one, it's going to be all personal. So I'll actually start on the second email. Even this one's actually going to be hero's journey as well. So we're going to go to the third email where we share your methodology versus the others. So we can go here, boom. And then we're also going to copy paste some of the psychology notes that I've written just along the side right here. And then what we can do is we can click into the ChatGPT and then just copy paste it just like this. And it's right now going to write the rough email that we have right on this. And as you can see here, it's going to pretty much draft out everything that we need to do. And all we're going to do is copy and tweak this. And this is exactly what I did for my own coaching business that does over 160K a month using this exact ChatGPT framework. Because I kid you not, it is that simple and AI is getting that powerful, which is kind of scary. But anyways, I hope the value that you got from this video was worth the time that you spent, and I'll see you in the next one.